Hello my friends, hello and welcome here to my channel. To be honest, I'm just trying to understand one video and I hope I will understand it when I will watch it. International Militant Fund, more cash for terror state Pakistan and Kashmir. Okay, Pakistan received 2.3 billion from the IMF. I just googled what is it. IMF provides financial support to countries hit by crisis to create breathing room as they implement policies. Blah blah blah. Okay, so it should support like normal countries, no? So it's like a fund that sometimes provides money to other countries for some support when they have some crisis. They supported Ukraine, for example, and it's normal. But like, why supporting Pakistan? What's going on here? And yeah, so okay, Pakistan received this money and launched an attack on India within hours. So it was really a bad move of this, I don't know, company. What is it? India warned against the blah blah. US with its veto power let the funding pass. I don't know what is going on with USA. And yeah, sometimes like Trump is saying that it will stop the war. Sometimes they don't care about such things. USA is really like sitting on the two like chairs. Not sure what they think about, who they even support. Of course they think about their own interests, but I mean, still. Okay, let's see and find out what's going on. Okay. Oh yeah, US chooses silence. Okay. By the way,
ceasefire was announced and promptly violated by Pakistan.
It is yesterday's video.
Raised tensions by attacking India, and they did it less than 12 hours after the IMF cleared a new loan for them. $2.3 billion in funding for Pakistan.
You can see what they spent money on.
In 12 hours, Pakistan launched another attack on India. The sequence was hard to ignore. Was Pakistan just waiting for the money before it acted? The IMF board approved 2 tranches for Islamabad.
Oh, right, maybe.
One is a $1 billion loan, which is part of the current bailout, the 24th debt relief package given to Pakistan. That's right, they've got 24 bailouts, which is the highest number for any country ever. 24 IMF bailouts.
Yeah, maybe they were really waiting for the money.
So the IMF has approved a second loan. This one is worth $1.3 billion.
Because if they attacked before,
resilience and sustainability program,
they wouldn't get the loan.
Now, India raised concerns at yesterday's meeting, and then it abstained. It issued a formal statement saying that Pakistan's track record is poor. India warned of the risks of repeated bailouts and questioned how IMF funds were being used by Pakistan. India called Pakistan a prolonged borrower. And despite all of this, upwards of $2 billion have been approved for Pakistan. But why did India abstain? Why did India not vote against this move? Because that's not a provision. The IMF does not allow a formal no vote. Members can only vote yes or they can abstain. And India abstained. But one country had the power to stop this bailout, and that was the United States.
Why Trump didn't stop it?
Player, the US controls around 16% of the IMF's voting power.
It's really weird.
I'll tell you how. At the International Monetary Fund, control is tied to money, very openly. Usually control is tied to money, but here it's very, very clear and transparent. The more money a country contributes to the IMF, the more voting power it gets. Now, the US contributes over $100 billion to the IMF. It is the biggest funder of this agency. This gives America a de facto veto. No other country comes close to the US, not China, not Germany, or any other nation from the developed world. No other country can block loans on its own. Even if a group of leaders decide to gang
Happy
up, they
Trump.
won't be able to get more votes than the US. Let me give you some perspective. Japan has just a little over 6% of the vote. China has 6.08%. India, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Sri Lanka have
Interesting.
3.05%
All
votes
of them
combined.
just
The
3.
United States alone has more than 16%. So America could have blocked this bailout.
Could.
It did not.
Why they didn't do it?
And that is how Pakistan's loan extension went through. The IMF's decision is being widely condemned, of course. The Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir has spoken. That's Omar Abdullah. He asked, how can global powers talk de-escalation while the IMF funds Pakistan's war effort? Abdullah voiced what many were thinking, that the IMF is indirectly paying for this escalation.
Yeah.
The International Monetary Fund is bankrolling Pakistan's military offensive and terrorist factories. And this is a matter of fact. Pakistan's army plays an outsized role in its economy, even under a so-called civilian government. The army controls land, industries, and investment councils. It owns large business ventures. It shapes financial decisions. The military runs Pakistan's biggest conglomerate. And we have numbers. In last year's budget, they allocated over 2.13 trillion Pakistani rupees to defense. That's more than $7 billion US. It was a 14% jump from the previous year. Meanwhile, the education budget in Pakistan is not even 2% of their GDP. Healthcare gets less than 1%. IMF officials have pointed this out. They have pushed for cuts in military spending before. Such calls were made as recently as 2023, but to no avail. Nothing came of it. Because the army doesn't just take from the budget, it profits from it. The military
Really?
in Pakistan owns 12% of the country's land. It runs real estate ventures like the Defense Housing Authority. These projects benefit from public infrastructure. They're often funded through international loans like the ones cleared last night. So when Pakistan fires missiles hours after getting IMF money, it is important to ask this question. Why is the International Monetary Fund giving blank checks to a terror state? Where is this money going? Who is really in control? And how many times will the world ignore this pattern? The IMF and its top contributors like the United States need to wake up to Pakistan's reality, go beyond the spreadsheets, demand accountability, because when funding flows without scrutiny, conflict follows. The world
Such a
cannot fund
complicated
peace on
situation.
paper. While war plays out on the ground, stability does not come from bailouts alone, especially not when missiles follow the money.
To be honest, it was one of the hardest videos for me to understand because of all of this situation. I never even heard about this fund, to be honest, and now I feel so stupid. But now I understand what's going on here and how US controls such a huge percent of this money and how it could stop this funding, but it didn't. Okay, here I definitely should read some comments to understand it better. India needs to stop believing other countries too much. We need to speak to Pakistani language they understand, which isn't being diplomatic in life. I don't know if you should really attack Pakistan, because Pakistan is a crazy country. They will just start the war and they don't care about anyone. I think Trump's overconfidence must be shattered now. Yeah. International Millet Fund. We need to remember US has never been India's friend. US is looking at its own gain. USA will always look at its own interests. They don't have friends. I mean, they don't care about other countries. They never cared. They will never care. So it's not like they're being friendly to anyone. Even with Ukraine. No, they hate Ukraine now because Trump hates Ukraine. But I mean, before they were only thinking about getting more resources from it. They don't even care much about helping anyone. I just want it all to stop, to go back to normal, and I want peace in both of these countries. Yes, even in Pakistan. And continue me watching just usual peaceful videos, you know? I really want peace there. Sorry, my mom is just shouting now. Okay, see you guys. See you in the next videos. Goodbye. Stay safe.